Today we're going to do a lesson based on the book we read, Grace for President. Do you remember this book?
Yes.
Okay, let me remind you real quick. In Grace for President, Grace and her classmates vote using the Electoral College. And today we're going to vote like Grace. Today what we're working on is how can we explain our ideas using evidence from text. Our standards say that we'll explain our ideas in light of a discussion. And we're working on a social studies standard that says that we will exemplify how citizens contribute politically, socially, and economically to their community. We're going to vote today like Miss Grace. But to do that, we kind of need to remind ourselves about the Electoral College because we learned about that a long time ago. So let's go to our blog. Who can tell me our blog address? Elijah.
ccekids.blogspot.com.
Very good. ccekids.blogspot.com. Up on our blog today is a map of our country. And it shows the votes or points that each state gets. Remind me, Lexi, what can I tell about Florida if it says that Florida has 29 votes? What does that tell me about Florida?
That it has a lot of people in it.
Florida has a lot of people. Can you compare it to another state?
I can compare it to Vermont that only has 3 votes.
So Vermont has 3 votes. They've got their 2 senators and their 1 representative from the House. Do they have many people?
No.
Do we have a lot of people?
Yes.
What that tells me is that Florida's votes are pretty important. So to be educated voters, we've got to read and know what we're talking about. Today we're going to read an article and we are going to vote. So turn your attention over to the chairs. And what we're going to do today is make an educated vote, but not just for ourselves. We're voting for one of the states in the U.S., all right? If you look up on the screen, actually, I'm going to show you real quick. Some states have already voted. Miss O, can you turn the projector off for me? Some states have already voted today. And our vote looks tied. What can you tell me about the group of states that all voted for the Bring Your Own Device debate? Turn and talk to your partner. What do you notice? Hold on, look up here really quick. What do you notice about these states that voted for Bring Your Own Device versus these states that voted against? Turn and talk to your partner. Whoa, that was some good discussion. Okay, what can you tell me about the states that voted for our debate today? Deja.
The 4 is like the states that have most of the electoral votes.
So it looks like states that voted for Bring Your Own Device have more people. Like Deja said, they have more electoral votes. And then what can you tell me about these states that voted against? Kalani?
They have more, they have the same amount as the 4 Bring Your Own Device,
Uh-huh.
but there's more states to vote, but they don't have much people in them.
So more states voted with less votes. And did you hear what Kalani said? The votes are tied. So Austin, today, you get to be the tiebreaker. But in order to do that, you need to make an educated opinion. So let me show you how you would do that. I've read, can I have everyone's eyes? Let me see an active listener. I love it. I read this article about school uniforms. And in this article, it told me a couple different things about uniforms. It said that when kids wear uniforms to school, it's less distracting. Everybody can pay attention because everybody's wearing the same thing. And I thought, wow, okay, that makes sense. I wouldn't have to worry about what I wear every day to school. I could just get up, put on my white shirt, put on my blue bottoms, and head to school. But then the article also said that when everyone has to dress the same, no one gets to be creative. And it made me think of you guys and how Zion's wearing her peace signs and Brendy's wearing her bright pink, and we've got lots of different sports teams, and I thought, gosh, that's true. If everyone looks the same, no one gets to be creative. When I'm reading this information, before I cast my vote, I want to make an educated opinion. So I had to think about both points, and I decided, I like the idea of uniforms. So when I go and vote, I'm going to vote for uniforms. But what are you voting for today? Nicole? You're voting on the Bring Your Own Device debate. It is a hot topic. Are you ready to see what state you are voting for?
Yes.
Are you ready to see what state you're voting for?
Yes.
Good morning, very, very, very sleepy children. Let me get our hat ready. Ready. The only ones in our hat, the only states left are the states who have not voted. So Jake was so smart this morning. He said, North Carolina's not up there. Who else was missing that you told me?
Texas.
He said Texas, Alaska, so and Hawaii. That's who you guys are going to be. With your partner, whatever the hat gives you is going to be your state. So when you pull your state out with your partner, I want you to say out loud the state's name and how many points or votes you get. All right, group, make sure Brittany's in. Just one. All right, pull it out. Who do you have?
Delaware,
How many votes?
3.
Delaware for 3. Go.
Ohio, 18.
Ohio, 18.
Pennsylvania, 20.
Pennsylvania, 20.
New Jersey, 14.
New Jersey, 14.
North Carolina, 15.
North Carolina, 15. Make sure each group only takes one, okay?
Illinois, 20.
Illinois, 20. Ooh, is the big money in California state still in there?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Michigan, 16.
Michigan, 16.
Hawaii, 4.
Hawaii, 4. Just one.
New York, 29.
New York, 29.
Texas, 38.
Texas, 38.
California, 55.
California, 55. How many groups do I have left?
Me.
1 group, 2 group,
3 group.
3 group?
No.
Nope, just 2.
Oh.
Just 2. So I'm going to do a little bit of helping.
Arizona, 11.
Arizona, 11.
Georgia, 16.
Georgia, 16. And the news just came. Arkansas voted for Bring Your Own Device with their 6 votes. And Alaska voted against. So is the vote still the same?
No.
Okay, so let's add these votes. If Arkansas voted for, we'll put Arkansas on our list. And Alaska voted against. Who can tell me what we've got now for the 4 debate? Zion's whimper.
141.
141. How did you get to that number?
Well, I know that 135 plus 5 is 40.
Uh-huh.
And you have 1 left over. So I added 140 plus 1, and that gave me the answer.
You hear what he
141.
did? He said, I know 135 plus 5 is 140, and then he just added the 1. Who can tell me the total for against? Elizabeth.
138.
138. How did you get there?
Because I know that 135 plus
Plus what? What are we adding?
plus 1 equals 136 plus 2 is 138.
Look how interesting you did that. She did, Elijah, 135 plus 1 is 136, and then she added 2 more 138. You know how I did it? I did 5 plus 3 is what?
8.
and then I got myself 138. Both of us got there, we just got there in different ways. Here is what you're voting on. With your partner, you are going to read your Bring Your Own Device research. Before you cast the vote for your state, you're going to read your research with your partner. So make sure, and I know these aren't the best copies, but you can see it. Make sure that your group only gets one. And if I'm reading with my partner, does everyone need to see the text?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, get started, turn and talk as soon as you have your research so you can make your educated vote. Good. Make sure I don't skip any groups. Good, turn and talk right there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Uh-oh, California 55. Now comes the tricky part. Now, before you get to vote, you've got to defend your thinking using evidence from the text. We do this all the time in class, but today it's even more important because your thinking might change someone else's opinion. So who has some thoughts now that you've read that research? All right, Joey.
I think that they should have you write uncle.
Hold on one second. Joey's making a good point. I need all my listeners to put their research down. Thank you. And give Joey your attention like I'm giving it to him.
Because,
Gabby, can Joey have your attention too? Thank you. Go ahead, Joe.
because it's just like if you bring a phone
Uh-huh.
and you're not using it in the correct way, like you're texting or doing something, the teachers can take it away.
Yes.
So you may bring it. If you don't have one, it's okay. And if you don't want to bring it, it's fine. But you may bring it. But
So-
still,
Yeah. Go ahead.
the teacher can just take it away if you're not using it correctly.
So your argument is you can bring a device like a cell phone, like an iPad, like a DS, but the teacher could take it away if you're using it inappropriately. Can anyone comment on Joey's thought? Can anybody build on that thought? Miss Charlotte.
If you bring a device, the teacher, when you're writing something or researching something, they can just walk up and down if you're playing games that she doesn't allow you, just take it away, and she's like, okay, you can use paper.
So Charlotte is using what Joey said. See how it's so important that Joey was really explaining his opinion, his idea? Charlotte said, if you got a good teacher who's watching what's going on, they are going to know if you're using your device correctly. Who has a different thought? Claudia.
Well, my thought was if they do bring cell phones or an iPad, that they could download like a math. If they're in math or reading, they can download a game that goes with the class that they're in. Like if they're in math, they can do a math game. And if they're doing like a video game that they're not supposed to be doing, then the teacher could take it away, like Joey said. And if they if they're doing a test and they get done, they could, if they don't have anything else to do, they can't just sit there. If you bring your iPad or iPhone, you can download a game that goes with your class.
So Claudia's saying that these devices in the classroom can take your learning further. She said you could download a math game or something to encourage reading. What an interesting thought.